I'll keep an eye on everybody and let people in for you, Frank.
Okay, thank you.
May want to do a roll call when you start the meeting to just ask everyone who's there.
Okay, will do. JC, can you hear me?
Indeed, I can.
Okay, Commissioner Cook was supposed to reach out to those legislators, political people that were involved before. I did not have all their names. I'm hoping Tom did that before he went away. Do you know?
I don't know for sure, Frank.
Okay, well, we'll find out if they pop on today, I guess, right?
Yep. Let me go ask Robin if she happens to know. Hang on.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. It's Margot. I'm online with you guys.
Hi, Margot.
Hi,
Frank,
nice to see you.
nice to speak to you. I get confused on your email.
Hey, I got news for you. The whole system is confusing anymore. It's gotten worse instead of better.
Well, I'm glad.
Well, I'm glad to be here because I've lived it, seen it, did it, and suffered through it, as I
Yeah,
said.
I understand.
So I'm going to mute myself. You take care. I'll talk to you soon. If you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out.
Okay.
Frank, I just checked with Robin. She did not send anything out, but she does not know if Tom did or not.
Okay. Well, that's fine. This is our first meeting. I'm sure we'll have many more. So I just want to get the project back on track. Kevin has been sending me emails. He's kind of stuck at work for this meeting, but he did send me some very good information. So, and we're recording the meeting, so that will help those that cannot make today. My good buddy Jim Carstetter and I are in the same boat. We're zooming every day, right, Jim? Are you out there, Jim?
I can see him.
He's on. He's looking at his computer. He's wondering if he's on.
Just think about how prophetic Aretha Franklin was with that song, Who's Zooming Who?
Yeah. Jerry, I have another minute. We'll give him another minute to get on and then I'm going to start the meeting.
Hello,
Sounds good.
everyone. It's Deanna.
Hi, Deanna. Nice. Thank you for joining us.
Sure. Sorry I had to call in. I'm driving, so I couldn't use the computer while I was driving, obviously.
That's very good. That's very good. Okay, Jerry, we're going to get started. Are you out there? Oh, we just had somebody else join.
Yep, go ahead and get started, Frank. We're at
Right, do you want
101.
us- Do you want us to roll call or can you pick them up from what you're watching on your screen?
You could do it, Frank.
Okay, let's do roll call. Jim Carstetter,
Yes,
Diane,
Yes.
Redman,
Flagel here.
I see John, Docker, Dauker, just connecting.
Thank you. What'd you do?
I scared it. It was showing you what you needed to do.
Thank you. Oh, great.
Who just signed up here? Tommy O'Donnell's on. Malia. Jerry, let's move on. I
Yes,
don't
I'm
know,
here. Sorry.
All right, thank you. The only one that didn't come up was Docker.
Dan Ocker, that would be. With Representative Rose office.
Okay. Sorry, Dan. I'm reading one word.
Yep, you're good.
Thanks for joining us.
Yep.
Okay, so when I spoke to JC and a commissioner on the memorial, it was the fact that Pennsylvania and Hawaii did not have line of duty death memorials for our states, which I thought was pathetic for Pennsylvania. After long discussion, I mean 2 hours of a discussion, Tom brought me up to par on what was done before and who was involved, and would I be willing to pick the task up and continue to make things happen. So that's why we're here today. It's a preliminary meeting to get some feelings, to tell you what's been done already, and where can we go from here. There are a lot of people interested. A lot of our political leaders have shown interest, as well as all the people that are on today, both our career chiefs and our career firefighters association. Both entities have shown great interest in making this happen. So I think we have the right people to move it forward, and I want to keep moving it forward. I do not want it to end without the result of having a memorial. So with that said, I'm hoping that the people that stay on or stay interested are willing to move forward. I'm not, if you don't know me, I'm not the type of guy that's going to sit back and just not let things happen. The pedals to the metal, this should have happened years ago, and we're going to make it happen now. So stay tuned. I cannot schedule meetings to suit everybody. I apologize for those that could not make today's meeting, but right now we'll Zoom things, and as the weather becomes a little bit better next year, we're going to meet at the museum face to face and get things even moving faster. That's my goal. If anybody opts out now, that's fine. I'm all right with that. But we're going to move very positive and very quickly. So with that said, Kevin had reached out to me. He's the past president of the museum. Apparently some property was secured already. A couple blocks down from the Capitol in Harrisburg. The museum certainly has the space, free parking. The accessories are there, the bathrooms, obviously the museum's there. So we do have a place through a grant that is already in place. Where does that take us to people that may want something in Lewistown, or may want something in Schuylkill County, or may want something in Delaware County? Well, we need a central location to start. And it doesn't mean that out in Lewistown, we can't have something at the Fire Academy that is a one-room visit where people can honor their people, their past people, their brothers or sisters, and still see parts of that memorial. So with that said, I'm going to open the floor here to your ideas and your thoughts. This is not a one-man team. This I hope this whole group moves together as one voice. So Jim, I'll start with you since you're at the top of the list here in the photos. What's your take? What would you like to see happen? And what's your ideas?
Well, I'd very much like to see it happen. I've been assuming that we were looking at that property in Harrisburg that you referenced as being the location. I've talked about the fact that you've had this committee when I've reported at several different meetings about the PFAB having established this as a subcommittee. I had a couple of questions come back to me. I described it as a fallen firefighter memorial, and I was questioned as to whether this was going to be limited to strictly fallen firefighters, line of duty deaths, or if it was going to be open to other disciplines within public safety or EMS or hazmat or what have you. And I did not have an answer for that. My impression initially was it was a fallen firefighters memorial. Have we made that determination? Can you tell me, Frank?
No, we have not, but the initial request to consider the task of doing this was based on fallen firefighters.
That was
So-
my
so-
interpretation too. I guess that would be something I'd refer back to JC to see if there was any kind of direction or limitation given on to the committee. The other question that I got back was, were we going to be looking at some sort of a fundraising mechanism in association with getting this established? Or was there some sort of a funding mechanism already in mind? And I did not have any kind of an answer for that.
And Jim, we don't have an answer for that right now. We have some strong senators and representatives that are very interested in this. So the financial end, today's our first day to talk about it. So we do not have the answer to that. But I will repeat, the task in hand was for fallen firefighters. I have not been told otherwise. So, and we can discuss that as a group, but just so we know what I was asked to do.
Okay, I'm fine with that. I was just saying those were questions that I had received. I think all of the people at the various things that where I had mentioned it were very well supportive of seeing it happen, and sooner the better. So I don't think there was any kind of opposition to it at all.
Thank you very much for jumping on board and your comments. Diane,
Yes,
I'm pretty well right where Jim is. I was wondering a few of those same questions as far as funding and location. I figured that it would also be near the museum, but I wasn't sure. I do know we are also currently working on one here in Montour County to probably put near our courthouse for our Montour County fallen firefighters.
and Diane, just to reiterate something from you, there's a lot of counties that have honored both career and volunteer firefighters with memorials, including Schuylkill. We have a fairly big one, but as
Right.
a Commonwealth, we do not.
Yes.
So the end goal here is to honor all our brothers and sisters that have died in the line of duty and have one large monument. We're not taking away from the counties or the individual municipalities. We just want to see something that's for everybody.
Well, and I
So-
think the location
so,
idea right there by the museum when they're visiting, like you said, there's parking, it's a good location. They can do both at once. And, you know, I know you have Emmitsburg in Maryland, but how many people actually travel there? Probably, you know, so I think it's a great idea, and I'm willing to help wherever I can.
Thank you. Thanks very much. Chief O'Donnell, can you hear us?
I can, Frank. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So
Go
the
ahead,
career
please.
chiefs, we're certainly in support of it, of a firefighters memorial, right? We like it to hopefully be on some type of public land, not something that's privately owned, so we don't have to worry about land issues later. And like our Jim and Diana, right? We're here to support, right, in any way we can and get this across the finish line. It's well overdue.
Okay. Thank you, Chief. Red
Yes,
Man,
I'm just on to learn.
we're gonna tap your money, your financial end. You'll be a good source.
Yeah.
What's your take on this, Red?
No, it's a good project. Like I think you and me had talked, and again, up in Harrisburg, logical place where people, again, as like Tommy said, you want to make sure that doesn't happen what had happened at Emmitsburg after 9/11, locking the place down, restricted access, that type of thing. So you do want it on public land or donated land back to the organization or the corporation. You know, as you know, I deal a lot with memorials in DC and understand, you know, if it costs you $20 million to build something, you need $40 million because the other 20 is going to go for perpetual care, or at least that they can tap in when stuff need things. A lot of times people don't know that, especially in DC, they think the government pays for stuff. But, you know, so anyway, so food for thought.
Okay, thanks for your input, Red. Mr. Rocker?
Pretty much just hearing what you guys have to say. Where is Emmitsburg at? That's not Flight 9093, is it?
No.
No, Emmitsburg is in Maryland. That's the
Oh,
national.
okay. I'm with you now. Yep. Okay.
South of
Yeah.
Gettysburg.
Yep. Yeah, I've seen pictures of that. It's a pretty neat place there. Okay. Yeah, I've been to
What's your take
Harrisburg. What's that?
What's your take and what you've heard so far?
Well, I've been to Harrisburg, the museum there. And I know when we met, there was talk of closing the road beside the museum, building on out through there, and adding senior apartments as well. Is that still in the plan?
I couldn't answer that. I'm certainly find out from Kevin, but Kevin seems to have more based on what past practice, what happened when he was president of the museum.
Okay.
So, but he could not get out of work today. So I will ask that question. Are there any other comments?
Not at this point.
Malia? Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. Malia?
I'm just here to listen and bring information back to the representative. So I have no questions at this time.
Who's the representative you're representing? I'm sorry.
That's okay. Representative Dane Watro.
Well, you could tell him Frank Sangari's gonna be knocking on his door.
Will
Send him
do.
that message. He'll know that. He'll know that.
That'll get them to change the locks.
Yeah.
Senator Argo and Dane they might want to move to another county.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Deanna, you're on the phone?
I got it off. Sorry about that. I have two phones that I'm dealing with here while I'm driving.
Oh, good.
You're the most important one, so hang up on the other.
That's what I did. I'm like, go.
So Deanna, did you hear that the proposed property at the museum is where we're looking at putting this memorial?
I did, yes.
Did you hear that part? Okay, so
Yeah.
what's your take? There's some questions on fundraising and there's some real good questions we don't have answers for yet, but what's your
Right,
take? You're
right.
currently
Well,
president of the state association?
I had already commented. Yes, I had already commented at the beginning. Yeah, was very similar questions to what Jim was, asking, as far as like the funding and whether it would be just for the fallen firefighters, which I thought was the plan, but I was not positive. So, but I would really like to see this move forward, and even if you can partner possibly with the state association, maybe in somehow helping you out.
Okay, very good. Jerry, not only are you setting up the Zoom for us here, but you are part of this team. I know you've moved on in your career, but this is an important role, and I know you play part of this very dearly. So what's your take?
Frank, it's definitely a good idea that you bring this group together with all the partners and move forward with the plan and the fundraising plan for it. So definitely a good idea.
Okay. JC, I left you last because you got to speak on behalf of Commissioner Cook, who you two have beat me up in that little room at Emmitsburg, Maryland for an hour and a half. So with that said, give me your take. I know you have some experience from the west side of our Commonwealth. I'd like to hear what you think.
Sure. The commissioner's office obviously is in support of the project. We have made some attempts to shepherd it and try to get a group together here based on folks that showed interest. From our standpoint, we were concerned with a firefighters memorial. To my knowledge, we have not reached out to the other disciplines. I know that hasn't happened since I have been here, and that's a year and a half. But we wanted to bring together multiple stakeholders, some of whom have tangible property to be able to contribute, such as the museum and their nonprofit, and some of the state organizations to help not only hopefully secure funding, but create that long-term perpetual care that Redman was talking about, right? If we have multiple organizations supporting the effort, then those groups can assure that the memorial stays true to its purpose and is well maintained. It does not become political, and it doesn't become a state budget issue when you have groups that truly have their heart behind it, making sure that it stays funded and appropriately maintained.
Thank you. So did I miss anybody that's out here that I didn't call upon?
Yes, sir. It's Margot.
So as a preliminary meeting. Oh, I'm sorry, Margot. Geez, I can't get your email right now. We can't even get you on the iPad. Go ahead.
Hey, I'm used to this. Don't worry about it. But I cover 3 divisions. My father was line of duty police and died in the service, but unfortunately, he was never recognized until 47 years after the fact. I'm a Pittsburgh retired paramedic in Rescue 1 with my division. So I basically saw every firefighter and police officer die in 28 years and knew every one of them. As for EMS, we've been lucky down around here, only a few EMS, but there was some other complications there. So, and most of it was COVID from what I remember. There is no EMS Pennsylvania memorial that I know of but we're here for the firefighters, and I want it to stay that way. And if I'm speaking for others, I apologize. But they have a national EMS memorial, and I believe it's in Colorado somewhere, Colorado Springs or something. They
that's
do a
correct.
memorial ride through DC, and that's basically it. Police, we honor all over Pennsylvania. I'm on the Concerns of Police Survivors. I work with the Allegheny Line of Duty police officers. Our memorial is down at the across from the Steelers or the Acrisure this week stadium. But there's no firefighters other than Pittsburgh, and they put their own up on Troy Hill, if you know where that's at. It's above the North Shore. It needs to be a statewide program, definitely. And if I can go after a few senators or House of Representatives, I'd be honored to, because it's time to honor these gentlemen and ladies that gave forever their life. In Pittsburgh, also, most of the individual houses have, like when the Valentine's fire happened in 95, I think it was. I'm losing track of these dates. They put their own memorial at the station where they worked at. So it needs to be state.
Thank you, Margot. I would love to see this group stay focused on firefighters. If down the road another discipline needs to put something subsidiary to the monument, I'm sure that that group can make them things happen. But to add 2 or 3 more disciplines and try and make this thing move, I just think it's going to bog us down. And COVID's an example. Just to get all the information to people that died of COVID that were considered line of duty, could be a long process. Not that we didn't lose
Yeah.
firefighters, but I think Margot speaks very well of history. So unless there is an objection to this group, and you can certainly speak when I'm finished, I want to see this focused on firefighters memorial. So now I'll open the floor again to anybody else that has any comments or disagreements.
Excuse me.
Go ahead, Diane.
I met with a lot of representatives over the last year and a half, and senators, and we have. I met with Tom Cook, and we've had many meetings over the last year and a half, speaking of this memorial and how it had been stalled for the last 20 years. And I'm glad to see that it is going in the right direction at this point, that we are able to get it moving again. Hopefully we can all get on the same page, and everything will be going in the right direction, that we can get this memorial up, because these men and women deserve a quiet, serene memorial where they can be memorialized forever.
Thank you for your comments, Diane. Anyone else?
Diane, it's Margot, and I concur with you 110%. I'm also a volunteer firefighter, and I still continue in that role now. So, like I said, I've been around the block, at least through EMS, fire, and police, and I see the pain yet, and they need a place to just vegetate and be with their families and wherever they believe their spirit is. We need to start doing this.
Well, I think both you ladies have put it on the table. If we don't drive this from our heart first, it's not going to happen. So this is the team. This is the team we put together, and the only end result is success. We will not accept nothing different. So hold on to the bus, because I can tell you we're going to keep moving. This Zoom meeting is recorded. So I'll make sure that that recording link comes out from Jerry and goes to each and every one of you and those that cannot attend. And I'll revene in January, and only because trying to get a meeting with all the holidays and get everybody on base is just not fair. So we will resume in January by Zoom, and we'll start moving monthly. So I'd like to say put it on your calendar, but I'll send out, maybe we can send out a monkey link, Jerry, and see when people are available. So we don't cut out the people that couldn't be there today. Is
Yeah,
that possible, Jerry? Jerry, did you hear that?
Yes, Frank. Yes.
Can we send out a link then and see what's the best time for people to meet in January?
Sounds good.
All right.
I'll help you out with that.
Thank you so much. Any other comments?
Sir, maybe you want to think about coming down to the expo in Monroeville, the Fire Expo, and start drumming up some business, grabbing some politicians also, and maybe even having a small meeting there. Most of us have to attend.
Margot, I have no problems with that. Just email me the information. I have no problems traveling all over the Commonwealth. I just email me the information, a date and some times that are good, and I'll see what I could do.
And
Okay.
Frank, we'll have our meeting in December 20th.
Thanks, Red. Deanna, do you have something?
Nope, I'm good. Thank you so much. And just when you come up with some dates in January, email it out and I will do my best.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. If there's no more input, enjoy your day, stay safe. And thank you for putting your heart in something that's very dear to all of us. Have a good evening.
You too, Frank.
You too.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Take care, everyone.
Yes.
You also happy holidays.